Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Today is 2025 on the ancient civic calendar that we started. We started writing things civically, not civil, but civic. It is February the 23rd on the ancient Hebrew Israelite calendar. On the ancient moon calendar. It's 2025 on the ancient sun calendar. It's 5785 on the ancient Hebrew Israelite calendar. 10,066 on the ancient Yoruba calendar. And it is millions and trillions and trillions and millions and millions and trillions of years exponentially on the ancient Moorish calendar. The Moors have always been here. We will always be here. There never was a time when we were not. And the reason that we state that we are moorishe, because some people think that saying moorishe means we're not pure. We are all God, and we are also man, all of us. We're not mankind, because we're not kind of a man. We are all the species of man that is man. And that's why we say moorishe, because God is now living at earth, Islam. With that being stated, all rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity and in alignment and accordance with the ancient Noahide laws as stated by this Holy Congress. This is a sovereign living ancient, Article 3, Moorish American Al-Moroccan Universal Court action. We are the sovereign living justices and Ego Sum Pauline Denise Ritchie. My free chosen sovereign appellation is Light Tajiri. All are in capitis diminution nolo in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are capite et corpus juris legalis, which is our statement that we are the lawful and legal natural living head and body for our empire. All Moors are the ancient, original, indigenous, sovereign, divine, Al-Moroccan, Moorish American ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet and of the ancient Moabites, Canaanites, Shemites, Israelites, Cushites, and Hittites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our honor, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient, empire state for Morocco, which is the Moroccan Empire. We're the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government. We are ancient Washington District for Columbia. We're the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Earth-wide Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. Today, we are the law by our sovereign status, which is the original indigenous, natural, divine, sovereign, ancient Article 3 living United States District for Columbia Court. And we are the sovereign fiduciaries, original creditors, executors, trustors, divine ministers, possessors, grantors, grantors, and the title trustors for all causes for action. Our system is the trustee. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. We hereby recognize ourselves and accept our sovereign divine ascension. We do possess in our custody all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We, the true living God nation, are not at war, and we demonstrate all eternal, ancient, original sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, non-protonc. So the first thing that we will to share with you is, again, our national trade launch. The national trade launch is going to be on March the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. And so we will to and that's the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. And for those who read ancient English, March the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. However, many of us have already started getting products out there. And I'll say this, the products that we're putting out there, just get them out there more, get them out there. Because it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be sent. It does have to go out there. So make sure that you put it together according to what your spirit says, and it will be perfect. Okay? So we've already begun sending out products, and some of you have received them already, according to the tracking information that is on the record. Just one moment. Let's okay. And anyone else that is present here who wills to, the meeting is, anyone here who wills to receive products from us, if you'll place, if you'll inbox your address and your sovereign-born appellation to us, we will get the products out to you. And again, we're pulling from the trust, so you don't have to send us any gold or silver or more sovereign Delium for the products. We'll send them with your mailing location and your sovereign-born appellation. So if you'll put that, for those that are seeing this at YouTube, if you will to put that information in the comments, you're free to do that. We'll pull it from the comments and go ahead and send you out some products. All of our products are pulled from the land with the full support of our government. And the trust that we are using is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's Trust, as well as the United States Treasury, as well as the people who are the Moroccan Empire. So those three trusts together is how we finance all of the products and things that go out. So on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, anyone who is pulling from the land, who wills to put products out there, please feel free to set your products up that day, whether it be by YouTube video or electronically or however you do it. Just show that you have products available. Most likely what we'll do is set up here at the consulate here and the government building here, and then just sit out with our computers and do things that way, do our commerce that way. Gold, silver, more sovereign Delium, and any other natural exchange. So it has to be substance for substance, whether it be energy or whether it be, we will to exchange that. So with that being stated, this will be happening at all territories. So, and then for those who attended the merchant meeting, the landlord meeting this past Thursday, we appreciate you so much for attending that meeting so that we can go ahead, because there are some other things that are happening that are complete opportunities for us, okay? And we won't go into those things. Those things are specifically for our Thursday meetings for those who are doing merchant actions on land, okay? So with that being stated, are there any questions, comments, wisdom about the merchant meeting or about the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Any questions, comments, wisdom? I can tell you that every time we send things out, we see the falling away of all of that funny mirror deadness. We see it. One of the things that we saw this past week as we peered into where the funny mirror goes away and where reality is here, because what we're doing is reality. It's not the funny mirror, is the fakeness. We saw the departure of a ship, SHIP, that unbeknownst to us, we did not know this, but the USS United States, the USS United States ship had been docked at Philadelphia's territory for decades. Decades. It is a symbol of capitalism. It's a symbol of capitalism. And that symbol of capitalism has been moved from Philadelphia. And can anyone think for a moment about where it might be going and what might be happening with it? Because it's a symbol of foreign capitalism.
Islam, Empress, can you please unlock the meeting?
It's unlocked. Yes, it's unlocked.
It's bringing over a whole bunch of Land Rovers for you, Pauline.
Islam, Empress.
Islam nobility.
The question you originally started from, you had locked it, we couldn't unmute. But what I'm saying is that, what I'm saying, for those who does not have products, but we have intellectual things, like myself being a retired professional athlete, photographs.
I think you're going to be selling fried chicken. Fried chicken. You're going to be.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Autograph and fried chicken. Would that count?
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Absolutely yes.
Okay. Now, second question is that, do we, if I'm going to send a photo to somebody that want to see me in action when I was playing college and pro, do we sign in that government name, or in autographing that government name, or do autograph it in?
That's a beautiful question. So you would autograph it in either blue or red, and what you would do is autograph it in the appellation, the holy appellation that your mother gave you at birth.
Okay.
See, we've removed and ungrafted all of the fake paper out of the way, so we're not even, that's because it wasn't talking about us. So now the appellations that our holy mothers gave us when they crowned us,
Can I get you some Popeyes?
is the holy name that as a name we put it as a name when we recreate it as a name, and then we use that for commerce, but it's still a holy appellation at the higher level. At the lawful level, it's still a holy appellation. So yes, you would autograph that. So whenever I'm doing things out and about like this, if I get some of my books out or whatever the case may be, if I were to autograph them, I would autograph them Pauline Denise Ritchie. And then I may put also like Tajiri Bay. I may put that. I mean, it depends on whoever it is that I'm signing for, whatever they prefer as well. Because ultimately, and I'm so glad you said that, ultimately what we're doing is we're giving them the name so that they have it for their records. And that's why we were doing it by our own sovereign authority, so that we're not giving our names to frauds to be misusing. So we can give them either one, whichever you prefer. If you prefer your free chosen appellation, you can do that too. But it's better where commerce is concerned to use the sovereign born name, the sovereign born appellation that you create as a name, And that's what the fiduciary document says, is that no matter how we use it, it's ours. It doesn't belong to anybody else.
Islam, like it.
Islam.
Can you unlock the meeting, please?
Yes, indeed. See, what we did not know in the previous era is that every time we went to any business, I don't care what the business is, and they handed a form to fill out to get information, even if it was, let's say, oh, we just need your email address so that we can send you some coupons. They were actually attempting to steal identities with that. Because then what they did was they would take the email address and the number that's associated with that computer and sell it and bundle it and put it on the stock market and all of that.
Oh,
and
bullshit. Bullshit.
And they would say, this is how many customers we have. They would then start changing labels of people and start calling you customers and clients and consumers and all of that stuff, or sales. This is how many sales we had. This is how many, this number of emails is the number of sales that we made that week, and so on and so forth. So that's the fiat system. So we don't even acknowledge that. We just do what we're doing, and we freely give our sovereign, our names.
Ain't nobody buying your fucking sea salt, bitch.
So we freely give our names
buying that sea salt you got.
Okay. We freely give it out to the Moors for you to add it to your records, and if you will, to send something and pull from our trust, feel free to do so. We're doing the same thing on this end. That way we don't have to have any funds going back and forth, because we have access to the Treasury. So we just pull from the Treasury. And that's just for now. At any time that we will to send Delium or gold and silver or sea salt or coffee grinds or whatever you grow or whatever you make or whatever you sow or whatever information, because knowledge is power. Whatever information you have, then do so. Now, Justice Travis, let me say this about what you mentioned about Justice Travis. For those who may not be familiar with him, he played in the National Football League. Well, not the NFL, but the National Football League, because that's really what it was supposed to be. Those words were supposed to be spelled out. It wasn't supposed to be shortened and changed into the nigger football league. Okay, it wasn't supposed to be that, but that's what they changed it to, the nigger football league. Okay, so with that being said,
right, you finally.
So with that being, Justice Travis, with
another failed Negro.
With what you're doing, all you have to do is take complete control of your name, image, and likeness, because I know you know about the name, image, and likeness movement in the National Football League. Many of our brothers, many of whom have declared their nationality, are taking complete control over their names, images, and likenesses with the fiduciary document. And then they are the ones who are directly receiving their own gold, silver, Moorish sovereign Delium, or any works or services that anyone else has to offer. They're receiving that in exchange for autographed photos and images of themselves. So you have a whole wealth of wealth to trick
Cult of failure.
to a whole wealth of you just super wealthy because we all have access to our own name, image, and likeness.
And you're all failures. That's all you'll ever be. Failure.
They love us so much. The praise and the honor. The praise and that, because see, they're incompetent, so that's the only way they know how to honor.
Why isn't Travis in?
Islam Empress.
I would just like to remind everyone who's putting information in the chat for our handcrafted items, please ensure that your sovereign-born appellation is in there. So Yatui El Bay, if you could add your sovereign-born appellation, I would appreciate it. And I'll just keep adding it to the document and send it to you at the end of the meeting.
Thank you so much, Empress.
Islam.
And just so that everyone is aware, all of the merchants will have this information so that they can start sending things to you and pulling from the treasury.
Islam, so I should just send all the addresses to everyone who particularly was at the National Trade Launch meeting.
Only the ones at the National Trade Launch meeting.
I will do that, Islam.
That's it. So that they can begin sending things out to people. Islam Empress Nabi.
One of the things that I thought about when Brother Tunis was talking about sending out his photos or his videos from when he played in the National League was also being able to, the older photos are information that's there. The older photos are information that's there. This is going to be way more valuable.
Say that again, Empress.
It's going to be way more valuable now that it's coming from him in his sovereign status.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
or even removing the, even removing the other ones and saying that, okay, now they're his property to bring back in to renationalize.
Yes, indeed. See, now, instead of it just being something for North America, it's something earthwide that they will to have, because the actual gods played in the National Football League. And that's why I was thinking about
intellectual property. Yeah, his intellectual property. Because I'm thinking about the same thing with my information as well. So it just got me thinking.
Yes.
And
here's the thing. Oh, Empress Nabi, I'm just so grateful for you. Listen, we are all so wealthy that we can, that is just, it's just amazing. We're so wealthy, it's just, because when I think about the job that I had, quote unquote, when I was several of the jobs, quote unquote, that I had in my sleep, and now everything being nationalized, well, for example, I worked in aerospace. I was an aerospace analyst in California at Califia territory. And the aerospace company that I worked for at the time in my sleep, all of that information that we were looking at and all of that information is proprietary now to us. So we can take whatever we learned, whatever we knew about, and put our holy appellation on it, and there it is. It's ours.
It's our intellectual property. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's so much, even when you were talking about your, grandmother being able to, pull that in as, our property.
Yes.
And it already is, but, nationalizing and moving forward.
How much gold, silver, and how much gold, silver, and more sovereign delarium, and bank credits, and other services, and if you will to have seek salt products and all. We can just exchange all of that among us, all of that information. I worked in prosthetics at the VA, at the Veterans Administration. That information, I could write a book about that and put the information out there. I was also, even at the same time.
Did you create any manuals while you were there?
Or any
information? Exactly. Exactly.
We wrote the processes and
exactly.
And you know, we also we were in our sleep, quote unquote, licensed government contractors. So we have all this stack of certificates this high, you know, and all this books and books of information. And we kept the information. We're just going to restate the information, the contracting information. I had several jobs where I just, you know, because my consort was in the military and we were moving around, so we would just keep going and keep doing things. And I know that it was because the ancestors knew that all of us were going to get to this point that we are right now, where all of that information is that's our information, all of it. Anyone who has had a violation, you might call it a violation, but here's the thing, Moors, and this is the information that some Moors don't really want to hear, but we have to hear it so that we can understand where the wealth comes from with these things. Anything that we were doing and calling ourselves Negro, Black, Colored, and African American, that's where the fraud came in at, is we were not who we said we were. So we can't be mad at them, and we can't say, oh, they're just lawless and they violated us. Well, that was true, but the only reason they were able to do that was because we were calling ourselves Negro, Black, Colored, and African American, and being their person in the enactment. That's the only way that can happen. It won't happen any other way. That's the only way. So we can't be mad at them and keep glorifying, oh, they did this, they violated me, they stepped on my toe, they twisted my arm and threw me in the back of a police car. They weren't even real police. So that wasn't a real police car. You were being kidnapped because you were Negro, Black, Colored, whatever. Or you were starting to stand and be yourself. And you know, again, we can't be mad at them, but because those things happened, and this is what we think about when we do what we're doing. Because those things happen, we can, according to Federal Rule 4, Civic Procedure, Federal Rule for Civic Procedure, Title 4, Section 17 and 18, we can put our living person into those events and then issue justice the same way we did. We won $100 million from those actors previously acting as City of Federal Way. But we don't accept their fiat, so we're taking it in gold, silver, property, and so on and so forth. So we accept it for value. It has to be accepted for value, not for invalid fakeness. And that's where people mess up on the accepted for value piece, is they're trying to accept fiat. Fiat has no value, so you can't do accepted for value process on that. Surprise to those who thought that. You cannot do accepted for value with fiat because it has no value. So then you have to do accepted for value with real money. Gold, silver, Moorish sovereign Delium, and you assign a market value, and then you take that property based on the market value of the $100 million that you won from, you know, any actors that were previously acting as cities and police and sheriffs and all of that. Issue yourself the justice, because nobody else can. Not allowed to even say your sovereign-born appellation. So all they do is keep talking to, it's like somebody's when those fake voices come in, they're not even in the same place we're at. They're not even here. They're in a cemetery somewhere yelling out to the dead, so we don't answer because we're not a cemetery or any of that. Islam, Empress.
Islam.
Empress Cynthia. Yes.
What you just explained, isn't that the levy process?
It is. It is. It's the levy process.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
That we possess. That we possess. We possess all. With the proper address and everything. You know. So, Justice Atiba, I believe you were going to make a statement.
Yes, Islam, Empress.
Islam,
I'm bringing you greetings from Empress Angel Bay.
Yes.
I so visited her at her hospital bed today, and
yes.
I was completely elated.
Yes.
She is growing stronger by the second.
Yes.
She wasn't able to utter any words, but she was able to communicate writing on a pad. And she extends her sincerest love, admiration, and everything to each and every member of the Congress. I did the happy dance. Me and my mate did the happy dance a few times in honor, just because we believed that she was in a coma state. But indeed, she is bright-eyed.
Of course she is.
Fully alert. And
Islam and gratitude.
Islam. I will be revisiting her in another few days or so, and I will let her know that I spoke to the Congress on her behalf.
And just let her know we absolutely love and honor, and she's been in our thoughts and our energies the whole time, and we've been right there with her, just like we are with all the Moors. Yes, indeed.
For sure.
We love
Islam.
Love and
yes.
Islam.
We love you, Angel.
We
better, Angel.
love you.
Better.
Yes, we do.
Get well.
Islam, mommy loves you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
What a beautiful
Angel from Charnet's Temporal L.
Yes, we absolutely we miss her, you know, and when we say we miss her, we miss hearing her voice. We know we're there with her, so we're good. We know she's well. She hadn't gone anywhere. She's still here with us, and we're there with her. Islam. And the baby. Yes, the heir. Our nation has another heir. That means we got wealthier just from that. We absolutely just honor her for that. So, holy healing, yes, indeed. And Prashasha says, holy healing, Empress Angel, Malembe, Izola. Indeed. From all of us as well, indeed. Justice Atiba, thank you so much for that. Oh, we are uplifted even higher from hearing that. We knew that she was going to be well because, again, this Congress and all those who are with her, we're very powerful. We're very powerful. We knew she would be well. All we're doing is continuing the work and holding space for her. That's all. Islam. Are there any other questions, comments? Because we had asked earlier about the USS United States departing Philadelphia. After being moored at Philadelphia, it is now moved. Can anyone take a guess as to where it's being moved to and what's happening with it?
Islam.
Islam, Empress.
I'm not guessing necessarily, but so it was moored at the Capitolium, which was Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And so I did go and do some research.
Yes, you did.
Yes, of course. So they're moving. It's being moved down the Delaware River, and then they will be removing all hazardous materials and sinking it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And guess where they're sinking it at?
Well, I think it's somewhere off of Florida. I didn't actually...
Yes, Empress, it's off the coast of Florida. That's our, Florida was our ancient capital. The Alhambra is at Florida territory, land for flowers. Yeah. So you see...
That's the Red House.
Yes. I watched the,
everything is put back.
Yes. I watched part of that process, and as I was watching part of the process, I noticed that it was little red tugboats. Little red tugboats that were moving it on, taking it on where it's going. And all of that is symbolic. Of course, see, Delaware is where all of the quote-unquote corporations were registered. Remember that. That's why it had to take the Delaware River on down.
Yes.
So our ancestors are just showing us that just to keep doing what we're doing, it's a wrap.
Islam, Empress.
Islam nobility.
Can you bring me an update on the USS Philadelphia? Where was it and why it's being moved?
So the USS United States is the name of the ship. Okay. And what they did to signal each other, they parked it at Philadelphia's territory. And I am going to go ahead and put that link in the chat to what I watched. They parked it there decades ago to let all of their fakes know yes, thank you for putting that in the chat, Empress. To let all of it is a Masonic symbol. So it was parked at Philadelphia's many decades ago. And that let everybody know that capitalism had taken over by way of Admiralty Water, the waterway. And they have on the side of it, it has USS, because see, we know we don't use abbreviations and acronyms and things like that. That lets you know that it's fraud. It was a fraudulent thing, but that's how they let everybody know back 30 or 40 years ago, whenever it was moved there, that it was them and not us. And so on the side of it, it has USS United States. So what they were saying is that the United States has become the USS, or the U.S. That's what it symbolized. And it symbolized that it's a big ship, and that they were going to be onboarding everyone who thinks they're Negro, black, colored, and African American, and having you enslaved on that thing in the enactment. And then what they did was, now that we've done the work that we've all done to properly state who we are, properly proclaim the land and all of that, then they said, okay, we have to move this away from Philadelphia. It can't stay at Philadelphia any longer. It has to go. So they moved it down the Delaware River, and that's, again, it's a capitalism reference. It's a corpse or corporate reference. And all it had on it was a bunch of waste. Just as they stated, Empress Shasha stated that they were going to be cleaning out all of the junk and the hazardous materials. So Justice Willie, I thought about you when I heard the term hazardous materials, because Justice Willie previously talked about how when he was doing his jail demonstration, that they put biohazard on the cage that he was at. They put the word biohazard on it. What that means is that they were trying to say you're their person, and that you're trying to be their person or not trying to be their person. They were saying that it's a because they know corpses is dead stuff. And they know you're not dead. So because they know you're not dead, going into there and trying to use their corpse, and I'm not saying you did this, I'm saying this for the sake of the Moors so that we all know that if you go into a fake court and you attempt to be their person, then that is a biohazard, because that's a corpse trying to get up and do things and operate among the living. The living is us. And so, we can't use their corpse, or else it's a biohazard. That's what that means.
Well, the truth is that why am I echoing? I'm getting an echo. Are you getting an echo?
No.
Okay. Sorry, maybe. All right. So I was just gonna say that when you're faced with these people, I was listening to Queen Valahari sometime. I'm not sure if you're acquainted with her.
Can you please not glorify the subjects? Can you please not glorify?
No, this is one of us. One of us. It's a more. Okay. She really pushes our stuff as well.
She's great. We love her, and we actually we are looking forward to meeting Queen Valahari.
Oh man, please! Yeah. I love that lady so much. She's so sweet. Yeah. She's just remind me of you. You and her is like same, because of what you stand for. Yes. Now, I was just going to say that she mentioned some time ago in one of our videos that we must never be afraid to go into their court, but is what you do when you go in there, because the problem is if you don't go, they're going to send out a manhunt for you. Remember, that's exactly what word she used. And so it's what you do when you go there. You say less. And you're there to say, did I violate the treaty? And you shut up. You don't say much in their court. You simply somebody's you may echo. And somebody, I don't know what is that, but anyway. Right. So she's saying that, and I tend to prefer her approach in that if these guys force you, the only power that these people have now is just the use of force, which is illegitimate power. And so they will time you when you're on the road, kidnap you.
You said that a lot, and you're going right on down into the rabbit hole of glorifying them. So let us stop you there.
No, it's not a matter of glorification. And let me just finish what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with glorification. I'm just saying how they function, the reality of how they function, right? So the best thing to do is just not to get it's what knowing what you stand for, and you're not afraid to go there and let them know who you are. That's all I'm trying to say. So it's not a matter of glorifying. No, I'm not.
Okay, so we get what you're saying, Justice Willie. However, we disagree, and here's why we disagree. You're not standing if you're actually doing what they tell you to do. That's not standing. Now, let me say this about what Queen Valera said. She was teaching according to her understanding at that time, because the videos that you're referring to are probably about 10 or 12, maybe more years old, maybe even 15 to 20 years old, maybe. And at that time, that is what Moors knew to do. And so that's what they were encouraged to do at that time. So we're not saying that at that time that wasn't right for them. Queen Valera led the way in finding the pathway out. And she did it according, she and the Moors from that time span did it according to their understanding and their overstanding. Now things are different. We have progressed, standing on the shoulders of those who did it before us. So we honor what they did and what they stand for. We honor them. We love them. Queen Valera, all of R.V. Bay, Empress Rosmaria, all of them. They did what they knew to do, and guess what? They kicked the door open for us to come through. And now our courts, since we have our own courts, there's no need for us to go faking it. So we're not going to fake it. We're not going to fake
so
it.
There is
Hold on, please. I gave you a chance to speak, Justice Willie. We're not going to go hours and hours on this platform talking about something that we already know is fake. Why would I go to Toys R Us with a ticket that a Toys R Us clerk gave me, talking about I came to fix this ticket because you gave me a parking ticket or a speeding ticket, and so I'm here, and it has Toys R Us at the top of it in all capital letters in black ink. Why would I do that? No, our courts will speak concerning us, period. We don't go, see, when people say, and I'm not going to go all day on this either. When people say, well, they'll send a whole squad out there for you. They're not even talking to you. They ain't sending nobody for you. They're sending somebody for their person. Their person is in black ink and capital letters. And as long as you continue to think that that's you, then they can take you because you keep being their person. Period.
Okay, can I say something now?
Justice Willie.
No. There is a disconnect. With due respect, there's a disconnect in what you're saying.
No, there isn't.
I know. Let me just we need to have this conversation, because what you sometimes make it sound as if we're saying that we have a choice. These people are known to kidnap people and use force to pull you out.
Okay, Justice Willie, I'm going to have to mute you. Why? Because you still
Willie speaks the truth.
You still, Justice Willie, if they're agreeing with you, you know it. There's something wrong with it. Okay? If they're agreeing with you, you know it's something wrong with it. It's just that you can't see it yet. You cannot see it yet. Okay? However,
Pauline full of shit.
We're not going to go hours with this. We have our own person. They don't come for our person. They come for their person, not ours, theirs. Not ours, theirs. And as long as we're not being their person, just a moment. Yeah, you're out of here. As long as we're not being their person, their corpse, in all capital letters in black ink, they can't come. They don't have anything to come for or with.
Poor Billy.
Okay.
Poor.
So with that being stated, we're not going to be their corpse, period. We're not going to fake courts, period, because that's fraud on our part if we do that.
Willie's cult leader had to mute poor Billy.
It's fraud on our part if we go to a fake court. How do you not go to a fake court? You go to a real court by being the real court. There is no court that's real but us.
What a bunch of bullshit.
So no, we're not going to go to fake courts. No, we're not doing that. See, we have better information today. We have better information today. Look, they don't like it. They don't like it, but you're getting booted out. They don't like it, but we're going to tell it anyway. They're not even talking to us. We have to know that. So we're going to continue to be the court. See, in 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, and this is why I absolutely love our great Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey and what he impressed upon us heavily when we first nationalized and began communicating with him. In 2017, there was a push to get the consular courts going so we wouldn't have to go to a fake court. Huh. Come on. Our Grand Sheikh Taj, whom we honor and love and adore and send our highest honors to him. Our Grand Sheikh Taj said, just get it started, please. Just get it started. And clean it up as you go. It may not be perfect like you think it should be from the beginning, but you gotta get it started. We didn't wait. We didn't wait until we had 12 of our peers or 9 of our peers to get it started because we didn't have to. That's the difference between a sovereign and a subject. The sovereigns are the court all day, every day. Check the Declaration for Independence. When the subjects appealed to the judge for the whole earth, they were talking about each one of us. Each one of us.
You're full of shit.
Each one of us.
Shit, you've done bitch. You're full of shit.
Each one of us. So we're not going to even let that madness go on this platform in terms of telling people to go to a fake court. Why would we tell them to be a fraud? We wouldn't do that. We are not going to do that. It's just not. My spirit won't let that continue. We get it that some people don't. That's where they are in their growth. It's our job. It's our job to tell them otherwise. So yes, what Queen Valhara said back in the day worked for her. For as long as it worked for her. We honor that. We had times where we didn't have all the pieces either, and we're governing 100%. So that's number one.
You are.
We're governing 100%. We know that. That's not even in question. So our job is to keep doing what we're doing. Keep governing. Don't speak unless you're being the court, because see, that's one thing that people don't do who agree with that. That's called capitulation. Is when you go to a fake court. You're capitulating. That means they're decapitating you. That's what that means, Morris. Don't do it.
Am I allowed to respond?
Justice Willie, we really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. We really don't want to hear any more about that because we know better.
But I think it's quite disingenuous. If we're having a conversation, we both need to make our point. It's disingenuous when you alone do the talking and we're trying to have a conversation.
But do you know how many times you said that on this call?
Okay. Recently, they locked up one of our own, Anna Gel. Was that she going, or did they kidnap her?
It was her test, just like it was my test when it happened.
Whether you call it test or not, they still kidnap people. That's what we're saying.
Willie.
And we heard you say it too many times.
We heard you say it 30,000 times. And here's the thing.
We need to hear it no more.
So you brought up the subject. I'm just addressing you.
Okay. You've done it.
It's fine. Each his own. I know what I know. I don't volunteer to go to their court. Okay. I don't want them to inconvenience me when I'm traveling with my family and kidnap me again. That's all I'm saying. You're ruining the bitch's
fantasy land, Willie. You're ruining her fantasy.
Justice Willie, that's fine. You said that many times. Many times you said that. And we are living proof of the opposite of that. We're living proof of the opposite of that. Period. So now, we're not going to go to fake courts because they're fake. Why would we do that? That doesn't make sense. And we're not going to encourage anyone else to go to a fake court. What we are going to state is that you become competent at being the court yourself. Those are not courts that you're going to. That's the point. You keep calling it a court like they're judges. They're not judges. That's not a court. You might as well go down to the garbage dump and argue your case down there, because that's where you're going. That's trash. That's why they put biohazard up there, because the living is milling around among the dead. That's a biohazard when the living is milling around among the dead, among the corpses and things. Islam, justice, nobility.
Islam, peace and love to everyone here on the call today.
Islam.
I hear what Justice Willie is trying to say, but there's one thing you have to know: the court is the paperwork. The court is the four corners of the documents. Anytime you call a venue that's at dry dock, the building is just on the land. It's a ship. It's some place on the land that they don't have jurisdiction to be there, because who gave them a pass to be there? So they don't have a court. The court is the documents. You have to know the difference. And when you go in there and you dock your ship, your court, into the building, you are the court. Once you bring your paperwork past any door on the land, you are the court. And they know that. They know people don't know that when you come in there and you don't even dock your ship, your vessel, which is the paperwork. That's how they're going to know you're the court. That's why people that is getting kidnapped is because they're being tested. The subjects is doing their job by testing the people to know if they are who they say they are, and they're separating. That's what they're doing now. They're separating who's who on the land, because that's the order we gave. All the Moors have to be tested out of the old way. You have to do your own work. You can't be afraid. You are the justice. Bring your vessel and dock it. That's all you need to do. Because you're making the document itself. Like, listen to the words I'm saying. When you make the document, that's your dock. Anywhere you place your document, you dock your vessel. Your vessel is the paper. The paper has four corners, which is a court. You have to know these things. And once you know these things, them kidnapping is not a kidnapping, it's a test. They want to bring the court in because they know that we are the justices and we the only ones that we are the savior. Let me put it that way. We are the savior. You have to save yourself by knowing the knowledge.
Brother, you're preaching to the choir. I know all of that. Please don't insult my intelligence. I have done all documents. All documents. These people ignore your documents these days.
Okay. So Justice Willie, you still calling them people? They're not people. So here, let's just look at the word court really quickly, and then we'll move on. C-O-U-R-T, court.
This shit's never gonna work. Your document.
Let's look at that word really quickly, so that we know who we are and whose we and what we are and all of that, who we are and our authority. The word court, and it takes several pages. So check it out. A court, a space which is uncovered. Uncovered, that means that they don't have a covering over you. Uncovered means that all capital letters is not covering you as the people. That's what uncovered means in the dictionary. That you're not trying to use their capital letters to cover your true identity, but which may be partly or wholly enclosed by buildings or walls. That means protected. So, court, a legislative assembly. Well, how in the heck are you legislating if you're in a fake court? It's a fake place. It's covered. It's covered. Remember Moore's doctrine of discovery. The word covered, listen, the doctrine of discovery was just them capitalizing everybody and everything that they saw in their enactment. That's what the doctrine of discovery was. So when the fake actor pretending to be the Pope said, oh, no more doctrine of discovery, no more doctrine of discovery, he was telling them, y'all better stop capitalizing stuff because the Moors are awake. And they're the court. That means we're uncovered. See, that whole COVID thing was about masks. Masks. An all caps name is a mask. It's considered a mask because it's hiding and concealing the true identity of whoever it is that's wearing the mask. That's why we didn't wear none. So here it is, court. Let's look at this part right here. Now remember, the word court right here continues right here, and this is what we want you to see. Let's make it real big. Where international law is concerned, the court is the person or suite of the sovereign, the place where the sovereign sojourns with his regal retinue. That retinue and retina are the same word. That means you can see your nobility, okay? Wherever that may be, that means anywhere, everywhere, okay? So, who's the government? The court. An organ of the government, the court. Are they the real government? No, they're not. They are not. But let me just say this about the piece about Moors being tested in this area. With Moors being tested in this area, what did you think they were going to do? When you said, we're the heirs to all land, all natural resources, and all commerce, did you think people were going to bring roses and just throw them at your feet to begin with? Because they're going to do that too. But did you think from the beginning they were going to say, oh, wow, they said they're the heirs. I guess it must be true. We don't have to test them. It must be true because they said it. And this coming from liars, no liar would do that. No liar would take someone's word for something without testing it. No liar would do that because they know people lie like they do. So then, how do you know who the real court is? How do you know who the real court is? Whoever's doing court actions and being the court. That's how you know. That's how you know.
Islam.
Islam nobility.
Empress, I just want to acknowledge that the things you are saying, I'm just going to paraphrase it, blowing my mind, okay? You revealing so much truth, and it's simple to me. I see it now, you know? But I understand and I overstand, because I deal with people like this every day. Everybody's not ready for this.
They gonna have to get ready, because you know what? We wasn't ready for being pulled over on the side of the road and thrown in a cell. We wasn't ready for that, but they did it, did they?
Right.
Okay.
They're gonna have to get ready. That's what the lesson says. If you ain't ready, you better get ready. Or you make it do so. Yeah. That's right.
No sense in waiting. We don't have to wait another 100 years. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us some information, and here we are.
That's right.
What are we waiting for? Nothing. 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 Let's do this.
Let's do it.
The dictionary telling us over and over and over again what a real court is, and Justice Willie, just so that you already know that we just love you from top to bottom, from here to there, from all the way around and all of that. You know we love you. We just know that there's some fear in what you're saying, and you can say that it's not, but there is. You're afraid of being taken and put in a jail cell. We get that, because we were there too. That was the first thing that we asked the ancestors when we nationalized is, how do we get past fake policy enforcers and fake courts? And the ancestors said, don't worry, we're going to throw you into some of them situations, and then we'll see you get past them. And we did it. So we just continue to be the court. Whenever they send anything, anybody sending anything, our courts must speak. I don't care if it's a supposed bill or a supposed warrant or a supposed whatever it is. Our courts must speak at all times, and we don't speak unless we are doing court actions. That means we don't speak by phone unless we're doing court actions on whoever it is on the other end. We don't even care what they look like. That's why justice, they say justice is blind. Justice can see, though. This justice can see. We can see. So we're going to continue to do court actions all day, every day. We don't speak, and Morris, this is the key, do not speak. I don't care if it's walking down the street. I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's on the phone. I don't care if it's in writing. No matter what it is, I don't care if it's somebody coming to the door. We don't speak unless we do court actions, period. And guess what? They'll stop coming to the door when you do them court actions in writing, particularly. Because, see, again, paper is the only place they were existing in their enactment. That was the only place. And when they start sending them things, they cannot come when the paper is right. They can't come. They can't kick your door in. They can't take you when the paper is right. Keep the paper right. Keep the spirit right. You'll be right. Our spirits cannot hear glorification when we have not let their person go. Their person, you can't be their person, period. I don't care what anybody says, you can't. Nobody. And this is for all Moors. You cannot be their all caps. That's why we created our own all caps. Let me tell you about it. It can't see. Our all caps cannot walk. It cannot talk. She cannot move. She can't do nothing. All she does is she's a conveyance method whereby wealth comes in if we chose to do that. But what we did was we set our all caps right on behind us. We just put it down next to us and said, we don't need you no more. We don't need you no more. It's our all caps. That way, anything coming in all capital letters, we already know it's not about us. But our courts will speak to that because it's fraud. But now the fraud is not us being fraudulent, it's somebody else. It's actors being fraudulent. So then we speak to it from our courts. We know you ain't talking about our all caps because our all caps is right here where we put her. Seated. And our all caps is seated at our right hand. Bible scholars. Our all caps is seated at the right hand of God. So we know they're not talking about her. Justice Willie, you know we love you. We just cannot hear that powerful voice. Yes.
That's me.
That's all of us. That's all of us too, Justice Willie. We grew up in that too, and
It's all good. It's all good.
Just your voice is just so powerful to you give credit where it's not due. Our spirits are just And the Congress knows what we're talking about here. So, you know, we are who we are, and that is not even going to change. It's not even going to change. It's not going to change. We're the government, we're the courts, we're the law, and there's no other. The Bible says that there's no one beside us. So we're not going to put anyone beside us. And our person is property. So all of our property is all around us. So we can do that. With that being stated, so there is no duality in what we're doing. There's no duality. We are exactly who we state that we are. There's a couple of financial things that we're going to just basically introduce really quickly. Our courts are so important because we must understand and overstand that as we're moving forward with our court actions and things, and with our commerce even, that there's a way to do it so that no one can kick your door in and say fraud and all of that stuff. Just be yourself. Don't use the all caps. Create it and then sit it down. Create it using the fiduciary document and then sit it down. It's property. So it goes where the rest of your property goes. And then move using your in capitis diminutio minima, which is the first letter capitalized and the rest of the letters lowercase. And that's how we've been sending out all of our stuff. And it's been getting where it's going. Now, those of you who have received the seall even, as you can see, we didn't do anything, you know, it wasn't, you know, encased in gold. When we sent it, we got it there the way we get it there. It's still done. So a couple of things we will to bring forth that we're seeing. And I don't know if any of you are seeing the same things that we're seeing. Let us know if you are.
Islam, Empress.
Islam, nobility.
Before we move ahead, I got to tell you, I received the seall and it's wonderful. And in the cabinet, I've been going to health food stores and a lot of other places. I had to tell you that before we moved on. I yield.
Thank you, nobility, and you are free to use that in your National Football League, whatever it is that you're going to be putting out, the information, the knowledge, all of that. You're free to use whatever you will with regard to us and the salt and all of that, because we know that we even had one of our kin who has not yet declared his nationality tell us, as a therapist, or his son is a therapist, had him tell us that they are recommending salt now for everyone instead of medications and things like that. For professional, because he played professional soccer here. He's actually my nephew. I have a nephew that played professional soccer and a nephew that played professional basketball. And so they're getting information here and there as well. So for those who've not received your salt yet, just be patient, because we're getting inbox saying that they gave their address and they've not received their seall yet. Justice, you just be patient. It will come when it gets there. Islam, Justice Ogunwale.
Yes, I got a notice in my mailbox yesterday because I went in and my salt came, so I'm gonna pick up tomorrow, and I can't wait.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited because we're doing what we said we were going to do. We're doing what we stated. Using the trust, we're prospering, and we're using natural resources and all of that. I'm just like, wow, we're really doing it. I'm so excited. Thank you for that, nobility. We're going down the list. We have the list that we have thus far. to include what we've received over here is endless, because every address restated is due some salt. Every address restated in the world is due, or on the land is due a tribute from the trust. So we have an endless number of I could say custodiers, those who will have custody of the salt once we send it. So the wealth is just, it has manifested so huge. And each and every one of us has something that we bring to the table that we can put out there. Justice Travis, whew, I'm still thinking about you, because everyone, Justice Travis, who is acting as NFL players today should be receiving something from you in the mail. Whether you package them up and send them to the training camps, or whether you package them up and send them to those places that were previously doing business as as team offices and things and all of that, everyone should be receiving something from you, so that they will know that they too have the authority when they declare their nationality to tribute their own name, image, and likeness out there. Because they need to know that they've been fighting for that in all the national leagues, national football, national hockey, national baseball. They've all been fighting for that. And as you know, the corpses are not trying to let no corpses go away, because again, they can come get their corpse. That's why we went ahead and gave them that thing. We told them we don't need that. We don't need a corpse, all caps in black ink that wasn't created by us. We don't need it. Keep it. You're supposed to be removing all debt off the land anyway. So, Justice Travis, you got a whole, boy, you're the light for that whole sports arena. They need to know. Because even as I was watching them talk about the name, image, and likeness piece, where they always had a pale being sitting next to them, because they couldn't even talk about it without the corpses being there. They couldn't talk about their own names because it wasn't their name. It's the corpse name. They have to create their own, spelled the same, looks the same, and everything. But they have to be themselves. They got to be people and not persons. It's a very beautiful thing. That is how you become untouchable by the dead. Don't give them anything they can come out the grave and grab onto. And don't go to their venues. Now, let me say this too about something that the ancestors are revealing to us and showing us. And it's something that I had been asking the ancestors, what does this mean? What does this mean? So if you all are aware, most of you are, that the actors that were previously acting as Federal Reserve would do something about talking about interest rates going up, and then the interest rates would go down a little bit, and the interest rate would go up. And I knew it meant something, but again, they're not talking to us, they're talking to each other. But I knew it meant something. Can anyone just take an erudition guess about what that means in the funny mirror when they say something about interest rates from the quote-unquote Federal Reserve?
Islam?
Islam, Empress.
Well, looking at it from both sides, I'm just looking at a ship on a stormy sea going up and down, as in there's instability. You know, from the one side, they're possibly trying to show that they actually still have some authority if they say it's going up and it goes up or it goes down. But it really is showing that they're kind of lost at sea, being flung about by the wind.
Empress, you're right there. You said it. You said it. You said it when you said that they are still trying to claim some interest in
something, but it's up, down, and all over the place. So, I mean, looking at it, even what they're trying to show has no substance. Because if you can see, particularly if you said, because you said they said it'll go down and it goes up, that's right there is showing, then, you know, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing.
Yeah.
And I yield now.
Yeah. Empress Shasha, you're right there. You're right there. Let me tell you, I'm affirming and also adding to what you stated.
Take me there.
Woo, Empress and Moors. So when the actors that were previously acting as Federal Reserve start talking about interest rates, it would seem that people would question that because that's not the Treasury talking about interest rates. So then you know it's not really about money. So then what is it really about? The interest rate going up is when Moors wake up more en masse, and this is what it means in reality, whereas in the funny mirror it means something different to them. So they're not talking to us, but we can look at it this way. Moors are waking up all over the place. And as they wake up, they're starting to claim things like conveyances and domiciles and things like that. So the interest rate is how much interest the Moors have in those things. Okay. However, once the interest rate is at zero, okay, because see, again, there's a debt that is owed, but all debt is actually our wealth. Inverted. It's upside down as debt, but on our hand, it's right side up, and it is all that we, that we have and that we own. So when the quote unquote Federal Reserve actors previously, when they were acting as financiers and saying the interest rate is at this and they're going to meet at Jackson Hole and decide whether the interest rate should go up or down or whatever, all they're doing is on the flip side looking at, are we interested in things that they created or things that we've restated? As the interest rate goes down to zero, because it went to -0 for a minute there, back about a year and a half ago or so. It went to below zero. Well, when it goes to below zero, then we will be able to use, and again, it's not based on what they say, it's based on us and what we do. As we continue doing what we're doing, and that interest rate goes to zero, once it goes below zero, then we can essentially, quote unquote, collect on the principal. And I'm putting that in air quotes for us because we're talking to each other. We're not talking about Funny Mirror, we're now about us. We will be able to begin collecting on the principal. Collecting on the principal means free use of our gold, our silver, our Moorish sovereign Delarium, all of that being used freely on the land. Because see, as you know, in Islam, when we're doing things, we don't use interest. We don't allow others to have an interest in our principal. So when that goes down to zero, and we keep doing what we're doing, it will just be a signal that they're signaling each other and we're signaling each other. And then that will mean that merchant actions, Empress Shasha, there's a little bit of an echo.
I will mute me.
Or just move back from what you're doing, because you don't have to mute, Empress. You can just move back a little bit from your, because maybe you have computer and phone at the same time, and sometimes if they get too close together, it causes an echo.
Yes.
So just move one or mute one, because I have two computers here, and if I turn on the other volume on this other one instead of it being muted, it will cause feedback also, or echoing. And that's for everyone. If you're on your phone and your computer at the same time, just mute one or move one back from the other. So as I was stating, merchant actions, and this is why the merchant meeting is so important. Merchant actions cause a shift in the interest rate. Okay? Merchant actions cause the interest rate to go to zero very quickly and move into principal. And moving into the principal, because remember, they were always saying that they're never going to be able to pay the debt, so they've just been making partial payments on the interest. That was what they were saying in the Funny Mirror. As the merchants are doing what we're doing, and this is why it's important for every one of us to come to the table with something. Come on with something, whatever you got. One tree outside. Find out what the leaves can be used for. Grind the leaves up, make some medication, dry them out, and send it. Find out, do your research so you can bring something to the table so that you can start accessing the principle of your own estate. Because the word principle in finance is the same as the word principle in terms of who's the head of the action. Because, you know, in liens, we say all agents, principals, heirs, assigns, and any derivatives thereof. The principal is the one who put up the money in the first place. So when you will to access your estate fully, you will make it so that your interest is in what you're doing and not so much in their stuff, so to speak. And they don't have anything. All these conveyances and all that stuff belongs to us already, but we have got to get involved in the principal. We have to be the principal financier. And in order for us to be the principal financier, that's what this merchant piece is all about, is that. So merchant actions shift interest to the principal immediately. The minute you start sending things out, and this is what we're seeing, the minute you start sending things out, your books, the records that you have on your books will make it so that you can go and get whatever it is that you will to have. Interest rates go to zero because we access the principal. So that's why we don't do interest. Our ancestors were looking to see what we have done, and they were also watching the adoption rates for falsehoods, such as Bitcoin and all of that stuff, or anything corporate. And here's what we're saying about Bitcoin, even for those Moors who like Bitcoin. Bitcoin had to be restated, so we've restated it. So Bitcoin is a good thing, just like anything else that we restate. We have to make it real. But we could not adopt a fake system like CBDCs and all of that stuff. Though anything done by actors, we could not adopt it. So our ancestors were looking to see how many of us would adopt the next fiat piece instead of starting our own, instead of having our own financial things. And see, we're past this point, if more of us, or if we would not have come up with our own financial system, then whatever is said about CBD, it would have been another probably 1,000 years of slavery. But we didn't do that. We got it together. And because we've gotten it together, the interest rates are going to go all the way down to 0 in the funny mirror, because it's funny mirror stuff. But we know what that means. It means that the principal on the debt, not the debt, the principal on our credit is accessible to us. But all we have to do in order, if you will, to access your estate financially, bring whatever you have to the table and begin tributing it and record it in the books, in your books. Keep records of it. So there's no Empress Aisha says she has a Bitcoin account also. It has to be restated, Empress, because it was issued improperly, so you will to restate it. Same, you can use it, but it has to be restated. Islam justice.
I like what I'm hearing. It's true sovereignty. Our sovereignty should be aligned, for the want of a better expression, because being sovereign is being independent. And I like where this is going, because when we learn to, as a community then, or as a nation, trade with each other, do things among each other, that's true sovereignty, because you're not now dependent on anyone outside who is not who is not in agreement with you, so to speak. So this has always been one of my pet peeves, to say that we have to get ourselves as a nation together, do things among each other, so we can be independent of other sustenance from other people. And I like where this is going. Awesome.
Thank you, Nobility. We're just the ancestor said do it, so we're doing it already. It's already being done among the Moors. We're doing our own commerce. And again, natural resources, that's how you prove who you really are, is you have control over the natural resources and you tribute them.
Mm-hmm.
So
if anyone has soursop leaf, that's something I like to drink from time to time, I would be interested. Along the way, I am thinking of contributing what is called apricot seeds. I think it's a powerful thing to have among us. In light of the atmosphere that we're in, it's good to always be in protection mode of our health. And I'm thinking about but that may be in the near future.
Justice Willie, make sure you send me some, because you know what? All seeds have the ability, for those who like coffee, because I like to drink coffee. For those who are coffee and tea drinkers, you can take the seeds from anything: dates, apricots, avocados, peanuts even. You can take the seeds and roast them and then grind them up like you would coffee beans. and make you some coffee that way.
And I have a very good source where I get my thing like that, organic. I don't want no GMO related stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like I said, that's something I'd be interested in the soursop leaf, and I'm gonna think about contributing the apricot seeds because it's a powerful prevention of stuff in your body. It's a good thing to digest.
So, Justice Willie, if you will, where would you like for us to send the things that we're tributing already?
Oh, you want me to put my address in this thing?
If you could inbox it to Empress Shasha, she will. Are you able to inbox it to her here on the platform?
Is it on the chat that I put it, or?
Yeah, you can put it in the chat. But Justice Willie, they're in the chat. Down at the bottom of the chat, it says to, and then you'll see. Usually, it'll say everyone. But if you click, you can send it directly to her so that it's not in the chat because the chat is public.
I see what you're saying.
A lot of people can see it, but you can send to individuals.
And, may I ask? You don't have an issue with because I did create a PO box for my the strawman account. So I can do that, or I can do the debtor account, which is my actual they call it the address or the domicile.
Whichever you prefer, because we're going to restate it anyway.
Okay.
See, that's the beauty of what we're doing. We're not clashing heads with anybody at all because we're restating everything.
Okay.
The same way they did the birth certificates and stuff in the 1930s in their enactment. They didn't ask anybody if they could do that. Not really. But because nobody rebutted it,
Right.
So we're restating all addresses and everything anyway, and then sending stuff out. So anybody who wills to have, and here's the thing, even if it's not sea salt, but it's something that you will to have, it's best to go ahead and get your address or mailing location to us now, because this is picking up very quickly, because people are starting to receive things, and they don't even have to pull out their wallet.
Right. Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Empress Aisha and then Empress Shabazz Empress Aisha.
Okay. When you restate the Bitcoin account, do you change colors on it?
Yes. It goes from black to blue or red. But blue actually.
Okay. And we spell out everything.
Yeah, spell out everything, and then also use in capitis diminutio minima, which is the first letter capitalized and the rest of the letters lowercase for Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah. And Empress, separate the words bit and coin.
Okay.
The reason for that is because if you put those two words together, it's no longer a coin. That's why they did it. It's not a coin because it's not a real coin.
Okay.
So just separate them.
And may I just add quickly, I think it would be wise also if you have, like a good amount of coins on the blockchain, or on the exchanges or in a wallet. Based on what I hear, they can overnight seize those things. So what we can do is put it on they call it cold storage, where you put it on like a hard drive kind of thing. So that's off the blockchain, that's off the exchanges, and that's out of their wallet. So they have no reach. You would have that in cold storage at home or safely locked away. That's if you have significant amount of money, that you can do that. But if it's negligible, then but just know that there's a chance that the government is gonna seize and buy these exchanges. The fake government. the fake government is going to seize one night everything. Can, you know. That's what is expected to happen when they move over to the next their fraudulent system. Come on, man. Don't treat me so bad.
So now one more question. Is that account, would that be taken through court?
I have to be so careful with my words on this platform. My God. Take your time with justice, really, man.
So would this be taken through court also, Empress?
Yes, every step take it through court, Empress.
Okay.
Every step take it through your court. Yes.
Okay.
Not fake court, because you know why.
Okay.
Yeah. Islam. Justice from Georgetown, Ontario. We got you. Islam. Yes, Justice Counsel.
Thank you.
It's unlocked. Islam.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you that the principal on our estate is growing every day. We have so much wealth and riches and treasures and money and currency, and we have so much. That's why I'm saying, please just start sending things out to people that you and make a record of it, please, because we got to get vesting on the principal, because you'll be able to get things for your, for what you'll be able to increase operations is what I'm looking for. This phrase that I'm looking for, the word increase operations by how much you have on your books. Empress Shabazz Day.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have, this question is about, so I'm thinking about what to bring forward, and there's a lot of little things, years of creating greeting cards, years of making homemade wine, years of making creative things with the grandchildren, and they are very excited, those little ones. But to begin with, I'm looking at the whole thought about value for equal value. And I wanted to know, what are you pricing your salt at, so that I can begin to think about how to price some of the things that I will to put out.
Great question.
So, Empress, let me state that we priced our salt based on a number of factors. Number one, we priced it based on the fact that it is a commodity. A commodity is anything that comes from the earth that can be monetized if you choose to do so. So it's 100% natural. We don't add anything to it. We priced it based on that. We also priced it based on the fact that we use our energy to go out to the Pacific Ocean, collect up the water, bring it home, and we boil it all day. So 6, 8, 12 hours of boiling until we boil it all the way down until there's nothing left but the minerals from the water. We also, so that's the second thing that we based it on, and really they're interchangeable. Our energy is first, and then the fact that it's a natural substance from the earth is second. The third thing that we based our pricing on, and this is going to justify the pricing, and the price is really still too low. The pricing is also thirdly based on the fact that we, the record keeping, the time that it takes for the record keeping and any materials, so expenses, anything like that. So our sea salt is $99 per ounce. $99 per ounce. Initially, when we first, but think about the price of gold. The price of gold, even in the funny mirror, they're saying that it's $3,000 for an ounce of gold. Well, okay, our salt should be that then. It really should be that. But see, the beauty of it too is that everyone can afford it because of where the money is coming from. Everyone can afford it.
Yes.
And so that's why we're so wealthy. We each have a trust with 100 million minimum in it, and that's just one trust. Not to mention all the other trusts that we each have, that we create. So there's no lack. Nobody is left out. All are wealthy and all can have what comes from our hands. So it's $99 an ounce right now. We generally send about 3 ounces to each with each shipment. So we record it out as three ounces at $99 an ounce. It's not taxed, and there's no tax, no interest. So it's $297 for each one that goes out. That's what we record. And by dollars, we mean real dollars, like gold dollars, like commodities dollars, like Morris Salvadorarian dollars, real dollars, United States Treasury dollars. And the United States being the living United States, not the dead one. Because we were always the States United anyway. So Empress, as you're thinking about your pricing for the things that you send out, it's handcrafted by the sovereigns. So it must be high value.
Yes. 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 I so appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much, because in the old times,
yes,
I remember at some time
Empress, we can't hear you if you're speaking. I don't know if you muted yourself.
Okay, I remember pricing my greeting cards at $2 a card, and the store that bought it from me sold it at $5 and $6 a card.
Yes.
And my friends were like, they're robbing you. And I'm saying, no, I priced it based on what it cost me. But I didn't take into account all the costs. Like, I didn't take into account my time, for example. And now I understand the thing about my time. So I truly appreciate the pieces that you offered me about how to think about it. Thank you again.
Yes, Empress. And just remember, this is the gods at earth producing.
Yes.
We are literally handing out life.
Yes.
With what we're doing.
Yes.
Life.
Yes. The resonance of being a living being and putting your energy into producing something wonderful and then handing it out.
Yes.
It's the gift of that.
Yes. See, even the frequency of your words from your cards, Empress, the frequency is high resonance, high frequency. And see, the people who receive it, no matter where they are, they're going to be uplifted in frequency and vibration.
Because this is true. In the old era, that's what people said to me. They said, I have sent your cards to Africa. I have sent your cards to India. It's what you say on them. It's how beautiful they are. So, yes, I totally follow the conversation.
It's the energy that you put into producing it. See, when you produced it, you weren't You weren't under the gun. You were not anxious. You didn't have any taskmaster saying if you don't produce 500 of them in 5 minutes, you're fired. You didn't have any of that. It was done out of love and just out of you wanting to give, willing to give and to tribute to others that energy that is within you.
Yes, and the beauty of now you're having a color bath while you produce this. So today it's purple and tomorrow it's purple and yellow. And it's so wonderful when people receive it, they go, oh, I just love that combination. Yes.
That's why we say, Empress, that we have to clear our energy before we write something, before we write our affidavits and things, because the energy that we created with is the energy that is going to be received with. Everybody that touches it, they're going to get that same feeling. So like even when I go to the post office now to deposit things in the post office, I stand right there in the post office in front of the deposit box and I say, everyone who touches this, let them feel peace and love and energy and light and brightness. I don't care who touches it, let them feel that. And then I put it in there. And guess what? They get where they're going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Listen, let there be light from all of us. We are literally causing light to come into the earth after all the darkness that was previously enacted. That's why I say if you just go out, I don't care what kind of tree it is, find out because every tree has a purpose. Find out what can be done with those leaves. Find out what can be done with what the tree produces or the bush or whatever it is. Dehydrate it. You know, what we do is, and this I got from one of our subjects. One of the subjects, before she sent something to us, she said she gave it a vinegar and water bath. So she bathed the leaves in vinegar and water bath. Then she dehydrated them and wrapped them in plastic and sent them. And they were delicious. Absolutely delicious, from one of our subjects. So, you know, whatever it is, it can be for medicinal, it can be for consumption, not consumption, for ingestion, to take in. However, listen, if you are will to access your estates, you will produce. You'll produce. Don't say we didn't tell you. You'll produce. Because everybody has something. And this is what our ancestors, when they put the story out about the talents, about how they gave each one of us a certain number of talents, what did we do with those talents? Did we go up and double and triple and quadruple and 100-fold and 1,000-fold those talents? When you tribute one seed out there, you're causing trees to grow for generations, or you're causing cells to be cleaned for generations. If people ingest the seeds or whatever the case may be. So our ancestors honor that. They absolutely honor that. We are collecting, thank you for those who are putting their address and mailing locations in the chat. Listen, Justice Nathan, you're still inboxing. If you want to put your comments so that they can see it, you then take it from mine and put it on everyone so that those that you're speaking to can see it. Islam. So that is what we're seeing regarding those things called interest rates and all of that, is that they'll go down as we continue. Again, we just have to do what our great Sheikh told us. Just keep doing what you're doing. Our Grand Sheikh Taj, when he talked about our courts and get the court started, he knew that we were going to prosper when we did that. He knew that. That's why he told us, myself and Emperor Shalemore Bey and Emperor Sage Bey, that get it going, get the courts going. And so, we are the courts, each and every one of us, alone, sovereignly, yes, together, but each individual sovereign is a court, all by ourselves. So, with that being stated, those who are beginning their merchant actions, there is a process that we will to share with you in the next merchant meeting, whenever that is. It doesn't have to be this Thursday. It can be the following Thursday, or it can be next month Thursday, the first Thursday of the month, or however you choose to do it. Those that are a part of the merchant class, and I'm just going to call it what it is, the merchant class. And when I say class, I'm talking class in terms of wealth. Not that we aren't all wealthy; we are all wealthy. The merchant class has a wealth factor that is exponential because we're tributing to the people. So we have a process that can be done. We might even do it ourselves. It's not necessary because we have all that we will to have in terms of resources. But it would be another way in terms of, if you will, to collect many resources. And we may do it anyway, just because, just for the sake of recording. We may do this process anyway. The process, and we won't share it now, but we'll share it at the next merchant meeting. The process is regarding, it's the same process that oil companies use in order to, say, for example, if they want to get, if they want to purchase drills for their oil company because they think that there's, they've done a little prospecting and they think they found some oil on the land, and they say, okay, well, we need 5 big drills. So we need, $50 million for these big drills. So then they'll do a particular type of an offering where they issue certificates, stock certificates, and say everyone who wants to purchase stock in this company, so that we can get these drills, so that we can drill. There's a way for that process to be done, and I had not heard of it. I knew that it was a certain way to do it, but I hadn't heard of it being done this way, because it's not something that they even put on the public record. Justice Harold, when you say Section D, what are you referring to? Because that's not what we have. That's not what we have here, but that's probably part of it. It's probably going to be part of it.
Islam, Empress. Going back on my memory, that's where at the time you could have a private offering. That's basically what it is. Private offering, but it'd be within that particular state. Mm-hmm. And it's the, what do you call it, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. Mm-hmm. Regulation D, I'm sorry. Regulation D. Yeah, Regulation D.
Right. Some do Regulation K, but for commodities, it has to be a specific regulation, which is different. Is that a commodities regulation? Is Regulation D a commodities regulation, Nobility?
The restrictions on it, I'm not sure, mm-hmm. but from what I remember, it was just a corporate action. It was something you could do as a corporation. Mm-hmm. But this particular, I'm not sure of.
Okay. Thank you for that. We will do the research on that and add that part to what we're speaking of here. And we'll share that with the merchants at our next, whatever the next merchant meeting is. Merchants, when do you will to meet again? Shall we do it in 30 days?
Islam,
Empress.
I agree. Every first Thursday of the month.
Okay. Islam, Empress.
30 days will be after the launch, because I think today is what, the 23rd?
Yeah. No, it wouldn't. It would be 2 weeks from now, because this is February. The first Thursday in March is actually like in a week and a half or something like that, isn't it?
Right. So if this is the 23rd, we've got how many more days? 5.
So 30 days is good. That's what I mean. I was thinking
that would be
days.
right at the launch then, would it?
Oh, right, Empress, right.
And it's a short month, so we're missing 2, but that's going to be right on the launch, or?
So let's do it the Thursday before the launch. The launch is the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Right.
So let's meet. That'll be the next merchant meeting. Yeah.
What date is that?
That's the 19th, maybe. Let me just take a look.
That's actually the 20th.
It is the 20th, so it's the day. It's the first day of the launch. And you know what? We can do that still. We can still meet that day. Yeah, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
After our first day out, sort of thing.
Yes. So on the 20th. Go ahead, Empress.
No, I was just affirming. I think that's perfect.
Yeah. So on the 20th. The day of the launch, Justice Harold, the first day of the launch.
Oh, okay. Islam, I thought you mentioned having a meeting the week before the launch, but okay. Yeah. Islam.
The first day of the launch. I will say this too about what we're doing. I can see, and this is just so for those who might be observing the same things, I can see the departure of the previous fraud is because it's a process. The departure of the previous fraud, and here's what that looks like. Ever since, we started doing our merchant actions here and things, the weather has been going from one end to the next. So, we've been seeing things like that. Like it's been raining for 3 days, 4 or 5 days. It's because but at right around the edge of the sky, we can see brightness right around the edge. So we're seeing it's like the tentacles of an octopus moving away from something that it was going to attempt to take as prey. That's what we see it as. The fraud is slowly, well, not slowly, quickly leaving, and that's what it looks like in the spirit realm to us, is those tentacles are coming off of all that belongs to us, So with that being stated, there's something that's been placed in the chat to a clothing store. Do you accept fiat for that stuff? for the things about your clothing store? Because we would actually, and you don't have to answer that, we would just actually ask that no links that have anything to do with fiat be placed in the chat, because this is not that platform. But if it's things that you're putting in terms of the furthering of the empire, then absolutely yes, put it in the chat. So, and here's the thing, those who have businesses that you had previously and all of that, and you were accepting fiat and things like that, those businesses have to be restated. They have to be restated so that they are accepting lawful and legal money. And then you have to stop accepting fiat and start accepting. And the best way to do that, and we'll just put it out there because it's a fact, the best way to do that is just to go ahead and start taking your inventory and tributing it. I know that is antithetical to what people are accustomed to hearing and doing, because they think they paid something for the stuff, but that stuff has to be, you have to go ahead and start tributing it, keep your records, you have to do the same things that we're doing, keep the records of where you send everything, send it properly, restate it, use the government mailing location. Thank you, Nobility. He says no is for the March launch for what I have available for March 2025. Beautiful. So you have, hopefully you have the addresses where you can start tributing that to those who are on the address list. So, Justice Nadam.
Islam. Yes, I just got kicked out the chat on my computer because I wanted to show you something. I can't do it on my phone, so can you let me back in?
Sure.
Thank you.
Empress Shasha.
Yes, Islam. Zenaraya Zemnu Hotep Base. Is your name on the list for wanting handcrafted? And if so, let me know what your sovereign appellation is so I can make sure I have your information.
I believe that's a question in the chat. Is that a question or a statement about the Delirium?
Okay, let me send it to that.
It's a question. Yes, so our trusts are nominated in Delirium, gold, and silver. So yes, Delirium is being accepted for when we record on our records, we record it as gold, silver, or more sovereign Delirium, and not so much silver for us. We just do gold and Delirium. That's what our records are nominated or named in.
Just one more question.
Islam Empress.
When I redo the Bitcoin, what's my question? Do you record it in the public record also?
You record it. No, because that's a personal account. So for personal accounts, what you would do is just notify the subjects in the Office of County Court. So just notify them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So for personal accounts, that's what they were calling private, things that were quote unquote private. We say personal because it's based on our person that we own. and then you just notify
the clerk's office.
The subjects in the office of county
clerk.
Yeah, because you're the head magistrate for the county.
Okay.
Islam. So Delium, any of our commerce, everything is nominated in gold and more sovereign Delium. So when we send out the sea salt, that value on the commodity card is a gold and Delium value.
Okay.
Yeah, Islam. And Delium is a presentment where our signatures are concerned. Okay, and that's why we include Delium and everything, because of the signature that's on it. Because we know that the signature was the wealth anyway. We're the real gold, and our signature is the real gold and the real money.
Right.
We know that, So, yeah. Yep, we nominate everything in Delium. Are there any other questions, comments, wisdom from this amazing Congress?
It didn't work for your phone bill. Phone bill got cut off. It did.
Yeah, why did your phone get cut off, Pauline? I'm trying to.
Go ahead.
Go on, Empress.
Justice Anthony.
Okay. Gratitude. Grand Rising, Empress.
She's a fucking liar.
No.
She's a fucking liar.
Go ahead, no.
Grand Rising, peace rising, love rising unto all the Moors.
Islam.
Yes, Empress. Is it possible you could help me?
Fiat is alive and well. Fiat is alive and well.
All the love.
Billy, he's gullible.
All the love. Wow. Islam nobility. Go ahead.
Yes. Gratitude, Empress. Is it possible you could help me with the link to a certain video I'm trying to find, as it has some information that could assist me in my research? The video is the gold-back funds transfer affidavit.
I wouldn't be able to put that in the chat right now, but if one of the Moors who knows exactly what he's referring to, if you're willing to assist him with that, because it would require me to go to the thing and look through, and I do not will to use the Congress's time to do that. So if anyone else would do that, if someone else wouldn't mind doing that for him.
Gold-back funds transfer affidavit.
Yeah, gold-back funds.
Should have paid your phone bill, Pauline. It wouldn't have got cut off. Wouldn't have got cut off.
Oh,
How could they cut off an Empress's?
I'm glad that came up. Let me say this, that as you begin to do your commerce, there are some things that are going to be done to try and distract you, and they try and keep you, looking over there instead of there. Such as with the phone, this cellular phone, it's not cut off. As you can see, we have access and internet and all of that stuff. We have all of that. But the minute we started sending things out, there was an attempt to distract us. So we just said we're not even going to respond to it. We're going to keep working, and we just kept working. Nothing's going to stop us. Period. Nothing's going to stop us. Period. So we don't care about shenanigans and foolishness. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going.
You're insane.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's insanity because you're fucking in.
Islam. We are one. Islam, Empress.
I just wanted to share a couple of things that came across my site. So I saw something where the subject in the office of postmaster, Louis DeJoy, is stepping down.
He been gone.
Well, I mean, we know he's been gone, but I just thought that it was, interesting that this was put out there along with their codes. Yeah. Now, the other thing was the subject in the office of Prime Minister here. Speaking of trade policy and their concern.
No, he's the real Prime Minister. He's not a subject. He's the real Prime Minister, bitch. You ain't no shit. You ain't
a moment.
You ain't no government. You ain't.
Ooh, they love you. They love you. They worship you, Empress.
Is that not
they
true?
Absolutely. I mean, the worship is real.
Adoration.
Yes.
And I just thought that was very interesting how all of a sudden they're talking about trade policy and their concerns with regard to trade. And of course, us with our trade launch, national trade launch, and all of those things. So those were just some things passing through my view. That
well, Empress, when they start talking about things like that, what I do, and you didn't ask me what I do, but I'm just gonna, just for those who are hearing. When I hear things like that, I already know that they're trying to send hints, but they can't address us directly. So I just listen, and if my spirit prompts me to research something or to look at a process, I just look at it and see if it's something we can add or whatever.
It's interesting because I actually, a few days ago, I was looking something up. I can't remember exactly what I was looking up, but what came across in the links that came up were all related to trade policies.
Yes.
That was not the search I put in, but this is what came up.
Yeah.
And it was after our meeting, actually. And so, yes, it was today that this came up, and the subject mentioned that they have, or that there is, an office of trade negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and so, that's the next piece. I was going to have a look at that, but it's not accidental. What's passing by my
your purview, for your sovereign filter to use and look at.
Yes, and that. So I know it was. I took the message.
Yeah.
I heard the sound, as it were. So you're just affirming what I will to do.
Yeah. Where I am. Oh, go ahead, Empress.
No, let's finish on that because I was going somewhere else for a little minute. But finish what, please. Continue.
Well, I was going to say, when I see things like that, right now I'm keeping everything as simple as possible. And if it doesn't just absolutely have to be written up, I won't write it up for now. I just make a mental note of it and keep it for later. But right now I'm keeping the writings as simple as possible so that I don't overwhelm, and we're far from being overwhelmed, but we're pacing ourselves so that we send out affidavits as necessary, and then we're also doing our commerce as necessary also. But as I'm seeing the information, a lot of that stuff we've already put in writing, so I'm writing as necessary.
Thank you for that. I'm staying there.
Yeah.
There's
we're in this for eternity. So pacing, we have time.
Thank you for that. So the other thing I was going to state was, as I had shared with you, going to to our post office and what transpired. Well, it's interestingly, and I know I have something else to do with regard to that. That particular location has not been open since.
Say that again, Empress? Are you saying the postal service was closed?
That postal agency has not been open since.
Since when?
Now, since the day I went to do a demonstration, and they behaved in the way they behaved, and I took it on to 3. I sent 6, and I know that I will to do some follow-up, because they're in default, of course they are, but that location has not opened since.
See, people will lose. They will lose their quote unquote jobs for not doing what they're.
But that's it.
They have to do what we tell them.
That's it. So yeah, I know that I have some governing to complete there, but I just thought I'd share that with the platform.
Yeah. They have to do because you're the postmaster.
Exactly.
And if they're not going to do their job, they don't even need to be there.
Well, that's the thing. They haven't been. They haven't been. Sorry.
I was going to say it may open back up later, but right now, and I'm seeing this, and I was gonna bring this up. I'm seeing this at all places. There's a, and we talked about this some years back. We said that there was going to be an interruption or a stoppage in things long enough for it to be put properly, restated properly. We've already done the paperwork. The system is just now catching up where things have to stop and then start again under the authority of the Moors.
Now that could be, but let me share with the platform actually. When I went to make my demonstration delivery, the woman, the subject behind the grill, threw my package out onto the ground.
That was the day that you told us about that previously.
Right.
Is that correct? Mm-hmm.
And then I went on to made other deliveries. But anyway, it has not been open.
Well, Empress, you put it on the public record that happened. And they're not supposed to do that.
That's the thing. So I know I have some commands to make. I mean, it could, like you stated, it could be that they're transitioning, but because in my mind, it needs to be open. It needs to be, the subjects in there need to fulfill our commands. And there's some other things. It needs a box that's accessible 24 hours, 24/7, as opposed to what's there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just one room. It's a one room, but yeah,
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
So all the things that you're seeing that it should be?
Yes.
I would suggest that you just do a quick court action on your channel, listing what it should be, what it should look like, and all the hours and all of that. Just do a court action describing what it should be.
Thank you. Yes. That's the work I know I have to do, but putting it on the platform like that is actually excellent and simple.
Yeah. That's something you don't even have to write up a whole deal about it, just speak it onto the record.
Yeah.
By court action. Because see, they don't know until we say so. All law is specific.
Yeah.
We know that they can't keep doing things the way they've been doing it. They know that, we know that, we all know that. So now we must state how it's supposed to look.
Yes.
you know.
Islam, Empress. What you saying that? What you stated earlier about the intellectual property and how to reach out to others in those national associations, as well as the Albions and subject status. The other sister who said that she was looking at some things as well with some of the stuff she's doing, and any other more out there, if they be willing to talk, so we can kind of organize this thing and send it off to them in a proper way. Because I want to make sure when I address it with the proper tone.
Yeah. You know, Justice Travis, you know, you all can do that, but what I'm hearing in my spirit about this process, about these processes of sending things out, is that each one of us is sending out something specific to us. So listen to how your spirit says it, says get it out there, and then get it out there according to exactly what your spirit says about it, because none of the rest of us know specifically what, how, when, where, why, and all of that about what you're doing, but you know. You know, and the spirit knows, and those that you send it to are going to know too. To just go ahead and get it out there. We, you know, this is what I'm hearing also, and don't take this the wrong way, but because we're all doing this same thing, we don't need to have 30 more meetings about getting stuff done. Just get it done. Just get it going. Get it moving. Get it out there. Particularly where this merchant piece is concerned. I could have waited and gotten a lot of input on how the salt should look when it comes out there and all that. The ancestor said just go out there, because some of the salt that I sent out is in different type of container than I sent out to other people, just because I had to use what I have. So the ancestors are saying, y'all don't need to do anything else but get busy. You don't need to wait anymore. Get busy. You got an estate to run. Get busy. Just go. Just do it. And then as we do it, the improvements come. You know. That's what the ancestors are saying, is we don't need to meet a whole nother year before we get things done, you know. Get it done now. We have everything we need. Everything that is necessary. Not that we need, but that is necessary to get the stuff done. Just go, Justice Travis. Just do it with what you have. The first sea salt that I sent out, it didn't look as good as the ones that I'm sending out now. The ones that I'm sending out now are probably not going to be as good as the ones I send out in 2 months. The ancestors are just showing us how to do it, how to improve it, and how to stay clean and clear with it. You know. Islam, Justice.
Yes. I haven't seen anyone responded to my request about the video. Is it possible if I leave my email in the chat? Is it possible when you would have some time, if you will to, if you could email it to me, if you will to?
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
And the reason I'm not going to do it, Nobility, is because that is absolutely something that you can do yourself. And here's the thing. When you tune into the spirit is going to lead you straight to the right information. And if that information doesn't come and you're doing a demonstration, demonstrate with what you have. I will tell you, Justice Anthony, that we did not have a manual by which to demonstrate. We created it, and we would encourage you to do the same. If you don't see the information, that means the ancestors want you to come up with it. Okay. For your process, for what you're doing.
Okay, Islam.
Yeah. We had to do that, you know. No one went in depth on the legal system, as it were, from a perspective where we use our own affidavits, and then we nationalize logos and things. Nobody ever talked to us about that. except the spirit. And we found that to be very effective. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. And so listen to the spirit. Listen to your spirit. Your spirit will tell you. If it's something you're looking for, and I'll just use us as an example, anything that we could not find along the way as we were doing court actions and standing our courts up and doing the things, anything we couldn't find, we just said, okay, well, ancestors, when you're ready, I know you'll show me that. When you're ready, you'll show me. Because a lot of this stuff wasn't out there on the public record in the way that we put it out there. We just had to do it. That does missing information didn't mean we got to pass on doing it. The ancestors didn't give us a pass on our court just because we couldn't see us getting to the place that we are now at the time, but we had to do it anyway. So, Justice Anthony, I know that you have an ancestral connection that is going to give you whatever information that you feel you can get from that video. If you cannot find the video yourself, let the spirit lead you on what to do next. Because with or without the video, you're still going to be a success. You're still going to do what is necessary. The spirit might be telling you to go ahead and move now, and they'll give you that information later. You know. Are the sons doing the roundtable meetings? There's a question in the chat about the roundtable meetings. The ones that might Islam nobility.
3 of us got on the meeting, and that's it last week. I don't know why nobody else got in.
Okay. That's okay. The 3 is enough. 3 is enough to get it started.
Islam. I sent an email to the noble about the meeting. I haven't received a response. I didn't even know that there was being held. But I would still like to participate.
I'm pretty sure that's the case with many who may not have attended.
But I told him why he didn't respond. I know that at the time his empress had an issue with the baby and the hospital situation.
Yeah. I
know that's why he didn't respond. But I never knew that a meet that was being held after that.
Yeah.
Because I never received a response as a follow-up.
So Justice Anthony, Justice Ogunwale is right there. Y'all can connect for the next meeting. We would encourage you to continue the meetings, even if it's only 3 of you there. We would encourage you to continue.
Yes, we will. We will.
Yeah. It's important that you all stay connected like that. Now,
our email Justice Anthony.
Islam.
I would leave my email in the chat.
That's not the correct one by your name?
Yes. Right. That is.
Okay. That's fine.
And then Justice Sharif, what were you stating?
I'm in the hospital.
You are?
Yes. Pneumonia and RSV. So, but I had planned on being there while trying to get connected. I ended up in the hospital.
Okay. Well, Justice Sharif, I believe. Okay, we're sending you healing energy. Justice Sharif, we're sending you healing energy. We're sending you uplifted spirits energy and all of that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Will you keep us posted also on your release from the hospital? Because I know you will come out of there.
Yes, I can do that.
Islam.
Yes,
this is the time period where and this is why it's so important too, Morris, for us to go ahead and start tributing, particularly the medicinal products to each other. Islam, Empress.
Noble Justice Sharif, are you on the list for?
He put it in the chat a little earlier. He put something in the chat a little earlier, Empress Shasha. If you want to look back up at the chat.
Remember, I got cut out. So
That's right.
So maybe if
I'll put it back in there. I'll go up and find it for you, Empress.
Thank you so much.
Let me see. There are several of them that were
picked
put
up
in there.
Quite a few, but I don't recall that one.
Yeah, he was in there. Justice Sharif put it in the chat earlier.
It's there, Empress Light in Empress Fox's chat.
Okay, can you send it to her again? Because never mind, Justice Sharif. I see it. I'll send it to her.
Wonderful, thank you.
I had selected her name from everyone and put it in there, but I guess it went to everyone.
Yeah, it went to everyone. No, it came to me, Justice Sharif. It came to me. So if you don't mind, Justice Sharif, if you'll send it to Empress Shasha.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, Nobility.
The technology is just doing what it want to do.
Yeah, you actually sent it to me about the sea salt.
No, I actually did, because on my phone it says Empress Sasha, and it went to you.
Yeah, it came to me because I'm looking at it, and it's like it's an inbox thing.
Right, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting, because I've had some.
Empress Shasha, did you get Justice Willie's information as well?
Yeah, I got that from the chat.
Okay.
And others that were in the chat. I have to say I haven't had anything come directly to me today.
Islam. Islam.
Fine. I'll take it from there.
Justice Yatui, did you get Justice Yatui's information, Empress Shasha?
I do believe so.
Okay.
That. So today I got. And I'm going to read the sovereign born appellations.
Yes. Because some are still putting their free chosen national name appellations.
John Quincy Bailey, Stephen Alexander Williams, Harvey Anderson. That's what I got today.
Okay. Let me just be sure. Yeah, those are the ones I saw as well, Empress. That's correct. Those are the ones I have.
Okay.
Empress, if you'll just send those to us the same way that you've been sending the rest of them, I thank you so much. And then we have a list over here. We're starting to make lists of people around us, of addresses around us as well. So we have thousands and thousands. We'll reach our $500,000, our 500,000 people list. We'll have that list done in no time, which would be $100 million in sea salt.
How many people again, sir?
500,000. When you think about that, the population for Seattle alone is way more than that.
Yeah.
So we can get to 500,000 people really quickly, and we will have pulled $100 million from the trust for that. Piece of cake. Really. Piece of cake. And even as we're doing that, other things are manifesting as well. And again, we don't have, we thought we started out with nothing. That's what we thought. We thought we had nothing in the enactment to even get all of this done. But the ancestors are making a way. As long as we just know that we don't have to get everything done in one day, to just pace ourselves. It's a piece of cake. We are wealthy just from getting up in the morning, taking a breath. Extremely wealthy. And the answer, there are compartments in our mind that there are those compartments, there are partitions that have to drop so that we can see how wealthy we are. Those partitions are dropping so quickly. You know how they used to say that you only use 5% of your brain? The ancestors partitioned the other, just a minute, Empress Aisha. The ancestors partitioned our minds off, and as we do certain demonstrations, those partitions drop so we can see further, so we can see more. And those partitions are dropping so that we see access routes to further the empire and to access to our estate. So if the fear partition hasn't dropped yet, just start demonstrating, and it'll go away like that. And then you'll be looking for ways to demonstrate that you wouldn't have thought of a year ago, and things like that. The partitions it's like the scales coming off of our eyes, and we can see. With each demonstration that you do, that's going to get clearer. Your vision gets clearer and clearer with each and every demonstration. So, if there be nothing further at this point from the Islam, Empress Yamaya, and then Empress Aisha.
Please forgive me, but I just wanted to mention that I received an email from Empress Sasha Ambe, and it was a video, and it was asking me to download, put the video in the drive, but the video never played. So I just wanted to ask if she sent me that video.
It was probably the video from the merchant meeting. Were you at the merchant meeting, Empress Jamia?
Indeed.
Yeah. Empress Sasha.
Yeah, that would be what it was, and it was the link to it in the Google Drive.
Okay.
Because it's such a large file, it had to
go there. All right, gratitude.
If it doesn't work, let me know and I can resend.
Gratitude. I'll send you an email. Islam.
All right. Islam.
You know what, Empress Sasha? I could put a private place on a personal place on my YouTube channel and put them there. That way you don't have to worry about drive space. And then send the link to that.
I mean, that's entirely, because I have multiple, I have multiple Google Drives because I have for different things. So.
Okay, if you have space, then I won't do it because I'm really, I appreciate it. Thank you, Empress.
I just open a new email because the email comes with the Google Drive.
Yes. Empress Aisha.
I just wanted to ask if anyone knew where you can order the little bags that tea is put in. The little thin bag that you drop in the water with the tea.
So Empress, the way that I don't know where to get those from, but what I use for RT is coffee filters, and I just cinch them. I put
okay.
And
Great.
then, because that's really all it is a filter.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Empress.
Empress Nabi, then Justice Kansu, and then Empress Shasha. Empress Nabi.
You can also make those from cheesecloth, and you can also there are, what do you call it, the little spoon stirs. So if you really don't need the bags. I like to use the spoon stirs or the little droppers. You can put it in the little, stainless steel little things you put in there. And it has the key in the inside and it strains it. So, and I was going to suggest for, Brother Tunis, I'm going to make an infinite nationalized creation right stamp to put on my things. So instead of a copyright, do one for us as national.
Islam. Justice Kansu. Thank you, Empress Nabi.
I missed the meeting on Thursday. My internet went down and didn't come back on till then. Well, it's not going to be back up. I'm run by my sons right now. I'm editing the internet. Till about April, I should be getting back some internet. But what happened? I missed the meeting on Thursday. I want to know, can I get the recording to it?
Yes, if you'll connect with Empress Shasha, because you are going to be doing merchant actions, Justice Consul, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, because that's what it's for. It's for those who are actively engaging even now in merchant actions. So connect with Empress Shasha and make sure she has your email address so that you can get a copy of that video, Justice Consul.
She's got my email address, so it's chat first then. We'll be in touch.
Islam, I have your email, Noble Consul, so I will send you the email. Islam.
Thank you.
Islam,
one more thing. Noble Sharif, Justice Sharif sent me his address, and I've responded saying, could I get your sovereign-born appellation? So, Noble Sharif, if you are listening, please give me your sovereign-born appellation. Thank you.
Islam.
Islam. So with the merchant piece, I would encourage, please don't say I didn't tell you, I would encourage each and every one to find something that you can bring to the table for that merchant piece and begin attending the merchant congresses or judicial actions, the merchant judicial actions, and start getting something out to the people. I'm going to encourage you to do that because that is a major access point to the estate. So,
what is the link to come to that meeting?
It's on this platform whenever we state that we're going to have a meeting. So I think the next one is the 20th of March.
Okay.
Okay. But again, be having your whatever you're tributing to the people, go ahead and start getting it out. Even if you only have 1 or 2 to tribute or 5 or 10 to tribute, go ahead and tribute it out so that you can get started on knowing the process.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the way the ancestors do things is that they give us a little bit first so that we can start doing things with it, so that we can know the process and kind of work out the kinks in the process, and then they increase what they've given us once we get a process going. So if you only have 1 or 2 things that you contribute, go ahead and tribute the 1 or 2 things so you can see how the process works and if there's any, anything going on with your process so that you can increase your estate. Islam. If there be nothing further from this Congress at this time, which I know we have plenty throughout eternity to tribute to one another in terms of knowledge, we will adjourn the platform here at this time. Peace and grand. Yes, Empress.
That date is 2/20. No, 2025. I thought I had wrote it down, but I don't see it.
Oh, the 20th of March. So the day before our New Year's.
Oh, 20th of March. Okay.
The day before New Year's. That's a Thursday.
Thank you.
All right. Justice Nadon, 5 minutes. 5 minutes after. Yeah. I have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Good enough.
All right. Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs, Islam.
Islam. Peace and grand rising.
Islam.
Peace and grand rising.
Peace and grand rising.
All get well. Much success.
Islam. Peace and love.
Islam. Islam. That's the